Every day, dozens of people walk into the modern office kitchen. They brew coffee, warm up lunches, and chat by the sink. It functions as the central intersection point for the entire workplace, drawing a constant, high-volume flow of human traffic. A quick glance usually shows clear benchtops and empty sinks, offering a reassuring sense of order. But wiping away a visible coffee spill often leaves behind a microscopic biological reality. This heat map visualization shows where biological hazards hide. Notice intense activity zones glowing on refrigerator handles, microwaves, and sink taps, where pathogens like E. coli thrive. We track this contamination branching outward to individual workstations across the entire office. When we look at company attendance records, the impact is measurable. Workplaces with poorly maintained break rooms report consistently higher numbers of employee sick days. That direct link between shared surfaces and employee illness triggers a strict, often overlooked legal framework. Look closely at this document. It's the Food Standards Code from Food Standards Australia New Zealand, or FANZ. Under these regulations, an ordinary employee break room is legally classified as a food handling environment. That classification activates further obligations under the Work Health and Safety Act 2011. Employers are legally required to maintain conditions absolutely free from biological hazards. Failing to meet these strict sanitation requirements carries heavy consequences. A contaminated kitchen can result in severe regulatory fines, direct legal liability, and significant reputational damage. Providing a space for employees to eat is a standard corporate benefit. Keeping that space compliant is a rigorous exercise in risk management. To neutralize these risks, we have to understand where they originate. The highest vulnerability points in the kitchen ecosystem are the dark, enclosed spaces inside microwaves and refrigerators. Inside these tight spaces, dozens of distinct dietary profiles intersect daily. Crumb trails and sauce splatters overlap, creating surfaces rich in lingering allergens and ripe for cross-contamination between meals. Add in regional climate factors, and the problem accelerates. In Sydney, for example, the naturally warm and humid environment acts as a persistent catalyst for microbial growth. Microscopic mold spores exploit that damp climate. They rapidly expand and network across porous areas, like sinks and unventilated corners. Taking a wet rag and casually wiping down these surfaces doesn't eliminate the threat. It simply redistributes those established biological hazards evenly across the benchtop. Breaking that cycle requires strict professional intervention, specifically through documented food-safe sanitization protocols. You cannot simply douse a food preparation area in toxic, industrial-strength chemicals and call it clean. The process demands targeted, food-safe sanitizers that kill pathogens without leaving harmful fumes near where people eat. This split-screen diagram illustrates a crucial scientific principle called contact time. It takes a continuous, undisturbed window of 2 to 5 minutes for the sanitizer to completely rupture the pathogen's cell walls and neutralize the threat. Once that specific time elapses, a thorough final rinse with clean water is mandatory. This ensures zero chemical residue remains on the surfaces to contaminate food. True kitchen sanitation relies on this precise chemical equation, balancing absolute biological destruction with uncompromising human safety. Many organizations try to manage this environment by asking employees to clean up after themselves. This shared responsibility model consistently fails due to basic human psychology. When everyone is responsible, no one is responsible. Relying entirely on staff leads to wildly inconsistent standards, blame shifting over dirty dishes, and inevitable gaps in sanitation. There's also a severe knowledge gap. Standard office workers simply do not have the training to handle chemical contact times or safely manage cross-contamination. Delegating complex hygiene tasks to employees turns highly paid professionals into untrained, non-compliant liabilities, ultimately compromising the safety of the entire facility. The effective alternative is a mathematically predictable hygiene reset, executed by professionals who understand the science of clean. This dimensional matrix graphic outlines a tiered frequency protocol. It starts with daily surface management for small teams, scaling up to intensive twice-daily resets for high-traffic environments, all backed by weekly deep cleans and monthly appliance overhauls. When staff arrive to a pristine baseline every morning, it subtly shifts their behavior. A genuinely clean kitchen naturally encourages a functional clean-as-you-go culture throughout the day. These rigorous protocols lock in compliance with food safety laws, mitigate your financial liability, and drastically reduce team sick days. Outsourcing to a certified cleaning service is an invisible, non-negotiable shield protecting your workforce and your organization.